Hello guys, on my last video I showed you how to create a flat roof on Graphisoft ArchiCAD, and we didn't finish yet, but we managed to create a flat roof. So on this video I'm going to show you how you can crop your walls to the roof level on Graphisoft ArchiCAD. So let's get started. If you watched my last video, we managed to create this flat roof on top of this simple structure, and today I'm going to show you how you can fill this space above the wall so that you complete your design. So first of all, I want to show you how you can still go further and edit your roof even on 3D window. The first thing that you should do, make sure that this roof tool is active. When the roof tool is active, you now select all the roof. The shortcut for selecting all the roof is pressing the combination key of Ctrl+A. So you press Ctrl+A at once. So when you press Ctrl+A while the roof tool is active, you will see the roof selected. When the roof is selected, you will right click anywhere on your 3D window. So I'm going to right click anywhere on my 3D window, and as you can see, this pop-up window will appear. So on this pop-up window, select the first command, which is roof selection settings. Click on roof selection settings. So for my case, I'm going to edit my roof model, because the model being created maybe cannot appease my eyes, or it's not of my choice. So for example, I'm going to edit the top surface and give it roof. Let me give it roof tile Dutch. Then on this side of edge surface, which acts as a fascia, I want to give it, let me give it stucco white fine. Then OK. When you press OK, you will see that your changes have been made. See, the changes have been made on your window. So first of all, I'm going to show you how now you can fill these sloping edges and the back side. For the back side, it's easier to fill it by just adjusting the height of the wall. But you see, for these sloping edges, it's very difficult for you to fill directly by adjusting the height of the wall, because as you can see, the height here varies with the height on the further end. So first of all, we go back to the ground floor story. So on the ground floor story, I'm going to insert the elevations. You come here on the documentation tools. On these documentation tools, I go down and search for elevations. Then I pick an elevation. So I'm not going to change so many things on elevation. I just go straight and insert my elevations on the layout. So the procedure of inserting the elevation on the layout is just drawing the reference line for the elevation. Then when this eye appears, point it to where you want your elevation to face. So for my case, you have seen my elevation E1 being created. For the other side also, you trace the reference line, then you direct the eye to where you want your elevation to focus. So I've done all my 4 elevations. So let's start first by going to this elevation E3. I go to this my navigation, on my navigation bar. On my navigation bar, I go to elevation. So on the elevations, I go to elevation E3, then I double click to open it. When I open it, you will see it will display elevation E3 on its separate window. So First of all, I need to identify my height from the ground floor 0 level to where my roof ridge is. This the highest point of our roof is called the roof ridge. So I'm going to identify it. How? By just giving it a dimension. So I will select there and there, then I know the dimension. For my case, you see the dimension is 3.658 meters. So I can go back to my ground floor, then select this wall. By selecting this wall, I told you that you just press the shift key, then you move your cursor anywhere when it will highlight that wall, then click and release the shift key. But for my case, you see it's selecting all the walls, which means that during my wall creation I used a polyrectangular method to create the wall. So what I'm going to do first is to split these walls. I'm going to ungroup because my walls are being grouped together. So the shortcut of ungrouping is just by pressing Ctrl Shift and G at once. The combination key Ctrl plus Shift plus G, and you see my walls are ungrouped. So I will select the wall on elevation E03 independently. After selecting it, then I right click anywhere on my window, then go to wall selection settings and adjust my wall height. You remember that on the elevation it was at a height of 3.658. So do the same thing on the wall. I select, then I edit to 3.658, then enter. When you go back to 3D view, you will see my wall being adjusted to the roof level. You see, now that's for the back side, because it has no end sloping, and you can see the level of the roof is just the same along the wall. But for example, on this ends elevation, i.e. elevation E02 and E04 on the ground floor, it's hard for me to obtain a sloping wall. So I can just select them, then give them the same height as that of E03, which was 3658, 3.658 meters. Then when you go back to 3D, you can see my walls have been created, but they are exceeding the roof level. So why am I going to achieve a sloping wall? Now that's where the cropping the walls to roof height comes. So you can do this operation on 3D window or on the ground floor story window. So for my case, let me do it on the 3D window so that I can demonstrate well. First of all, I'm going to this taskbar down here. Then I am going to deactivate this orbit tool. You see the orbit tool here is active, so I'm going to deactivate it. Why? By just clicking on it. When I click on it, you see the orbit tool have been deactivated, and you see now I don't have that orbit cursor. You see now my cursor is just an arrow. So when this arrow is active, I'm going to select these walls, this one here and this one here. So by selecting it, I will just press the shift key. When I press the shift key and move my arrow to that wall, you will see it will highlight it and I select it. The same thing to the other wall. Now I have selected my two walls independently. After doing that, I will also select the roof. So I'm going also to select the roof. You see now I've selected my two walls and the roof. After doing that, I will go up here to my home tools, and you see this thing called trim elements to roof shell. Then I will click there to trim elements to roof shell. When just clicking there, you will see this pop-up icon appearing. So when it appears, you see trim elements. Select trimming roofing shell. Use roof shells from current selections. Then I just go and trim. When you trim, you see what happens. The roof shells have trimmed by walls, and it ensures that all the walls are below the roof shell. You can also do the same thing on the other wall, even if we just adjusted it manually, but we can also trim it. You just select the wall and the roof, then you trim. You will see now I have a decent model. You see now my 3D model is now a decent. Take a look on it. It's now a decent with my walls, sloping edges, walls being trimmed, and I have filled all the spaces to the roof shell. So you can see it's done well. So after doing all this, you can see that still the project is not much well done. So I'm going to drop my next video now on how to show you that how you can create a parapet wall on the flat roofs. You see, when you are designing, consider so many factors. For my case, I consider weatherproofing factors. So as you can see on this design, the place where I just observed weatherproofing factor on my walls is on this front elevation, but on the ends elevation and on the rear view elevation, you can see that my walls are just naked, which means that during the winter season or the rainy season, my walls will absorb much rainwater. So there is the way that I will go and do further design to prevent these walls from observing rainwater. How? By creating a parapet wall on top of this roof. So on my next video, I'm going to show you how you can create a parapet wall on top of any structure. So get tuned by just subscribing on my YouTube channel and leave a like if it is of great importance to you, so that you get notified when my next video is ready. Thank you.